What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Thursday, November 14th, 2024, and we are back with another midday live here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Shout out to all the people in the chat right now, all the mods, all the members, everybody over there on Patreon. For those who might not be able to catch this in real time, shout out to y'all for being a part of the replay gang. So before I get into everything, let me go ahead and acknowledge who is here so far. We got Jerome Davis, law-abiding citizen, Miss Butterscotch, Janesta, Katrina, Dimpleface, Till Dog, Irvin, Miss Nisi, Raging Woody, 74, J007, SD Johnson. Shout out to DSB for being a continued member of the channel for 2 months. Just keep up the amazing work, my warrior brother. I appreciate it. Tramp Steen, Queen Imani, Valizia, Wallow J, Celebrity Style Magazine, Cameron Jones, Damon Rees, Mohako, Anita Harrell, Derry B, Lady D. Shout out to Key Prince for being a member for 16 months. She said, good afternoon, Torian and chat B1, and B1 to you, and good afternoon to you. We got Crew Reality, Yanni 2436, songwriter, P. Yvette, Black Trini Girl to the Bone, Everyday People's Revolutionary 2, Ross Tate, Rokamuro, and I believe that is it so far. Shout out to everybody that's in here, and if I missed you, shout out to you as well. But before we get into everything, Miss Nisi, I started watching this new show on Amazon called Cross, which, by the way, the first episode was amazing. I'm gonna watch the second episode a little bit later because they dropped all the episodes on Amazon. It's a character on that show, Miss Nisi, who, I kid you not, reminds me so much of you. I mean, she looks like you and sounds like you a little bit when she talks. Like, when I looked at it, I thought I was listening to you. I was like, let me find out Miss Nisi on the television show. But it wasn't you, but it did sound like you. If you watch it, you'll see what I mean, but it is good so far. But anyway, before I get into everything, shout out to Kid Gravity, because he did a live about this yesterday where he touched on the topic I'm doing today. And honestly, if he didn't do it, I probably would not have known about it. And that's a shame, because I said I was going to try my best to stay on top of this case with this trial. Because the last time we talked about this, they were getting ready to go to trial. And now the trial is underway. I want to say that they've been on trial probably for about 2 weeks now. It hasn't been that long. The trial is still very ongoing. But a major thing, I can say, if you want to put it like that, has come about as it pertains to this trial. Now, I know when some people saw the thumbnail, it had a picture of Daniel Penny and another man on there, and it just simply said he lied. It kind of threw people off when I put it on the community tab, because y'all probably thought I was talking about Daniel Penny. Now, yes, we know he lied, but I wasn't talking about him necessarily in the thumbnail. I was talking about the other man whose name is Eric Gonzalez. Eric Gonzalez is a person who claimed that he was there or witnessed something, but it turned out that that wasn't the case. But we're going to go ahead and get into all that. And then we're going to go over some of the comments that people left, because I just want y'all to realize how dumb some people are when it comes to certain cases. So let me go ahead and share my screen. It's not going to take me long to get to this one article, because it literally is this one article right here. I couldn't find anything else that was not repeating what this was already talking about. So when I'm done going through it, I'll drop the link and I'll let people come on up and speak their piece to the information. So this says, witness in Daniel Penny trial lied about his involvement and proves no good deed goes unpunished. It was posted on November the 12th, 2024. Since the Daniel Penny trial kicked off, witness after witness has described the abject terror they felt while riding the Uptown F train as unhinged homeless man Jordan Neely entered the car, snarling and threatening strap hangers. One teen testified that she was so frightened she thought she would pass out. An older woman was scared ishless. A 29-year-old man said he was, quote, pretty terrified. So you see what they're leaning on. They have to lean on them saying that they were scared. They didn't know what was going to happen. They thought he was going to act this way and that way, because in their eyes, that looks good for Daniel Penny, the defense. But on Tuesday, One was visibly petrified to be in that courtroom, with protesters outside and multiple Neely supporters inside. Scared to be on the stand, to be a party to a potential acquittal of Penny, and what that would mean for the witness's personal safety. And it was the fear of losing his freedom, Eric Gonzalez said, that made him initially fabricate parts of his story to investigators. Gonzalez, age 39, was the man in the black cap seen in the now familiar footage from May 1st, 2023, helping to restrain Neely's flailing arms as Penny held him in the chokehold that killed him. The Bronx residents testified that he arrived at the Broadway Lafayette subway station as the train was being held, and that he stumbled upon the physical struggle unfolding on the dirty subway floor. Everyone was frantic and saying, "Call the cops." So I assumed one was trying to restrain the other until the cops came. Gonzalez told the jury that he, quote, jumped and tried to help. But after later learning that Neely had died and Penny had been arrested, Gonzalez was so spooked to be, quote, pinned for a murder charge that he took all of his vacation from work and went into hiding. And when he initially spoke to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, he now admits he fabricated parts of his story. Now, again, this is coming from Eric Gonzalez. This is the one where really the main focal point of who we're discussing today in this live. And shout out to everyone who just came into the chat. It just jumped like crazy because I looked over, it was like 119. It just jumped to 145. Make sure if y'all haven't done so already, please hit the like button, hit the share button, but I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. And shout out to Tom Slick for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate you. 2 weeks ago, Gonzalez was given immunity to testify. Yes, he admitted to lying about being at the scene much earlier and that Neely hit him, prompting Penny to swing into action. All that to save his own hide. Well, look at that. So what did we just learn right here, y'all? He said he was there at the scene much earlier than he was actually there, because remember, when he was there, Jordan Neely was already on the ground in the chokehold by Daniel Penny. He wasn't there before he got into the chokehold, before he put him in the chokehold. And then lied and said that Jordan Neely hit him, which led to Daniel Penny putting him in the chokehold. So they need to arrest this Eric Gonzalez person for perjury. And shout out to J007 for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate it. And yes, they gave him immunity. I keep telling y'all, black and brown wear. Let's be honest with ourselves. Like I said before, black and brown don't exist. And as far as I'm concerned, based on how that election turned out last week, it's very safe to say that the whole, I guess you could say, the white and brown coalition is more of a thing than black and brown ever was. Let's continue. The admission took a wrecking ball to his credibility as a witness, but it didn't make Gonzalez an unsympathetic figure. His efforts to assist Penny, including struggling with Neely, taking the man's pulse and rolling him onto his side in a, quote, recovery position, were captured on video and examined frame by frame. Oh, get out of here with that. So because he decided after the fact to take his pulse, even after this man clearly lied, now you're trying to make us feel bad for him. Y'all see this? So they know he did something wrong. They know he lied, but we're going to not go completely ham on him because he rolled him on his side and took his pulse to see if he was still breathing. We know he wasn't breathing because they said Daniel Penny held Jordan Neely in that chokehold for a number of minutes. And one thing I had always asked was, how long does it take someone who's in a full chokehold like that to lose consciousness and later pass away? They said it probably takes about a minute, maybe even less. He held him in that chokehold position for a number of minutes, which means Daniel Penny was holding on to a dead body. The footage proved that both he and Penny were ensnared by the old adage, no good deed goes unpunished. Despite his deal with the prosecutor, Gonzalez was still worried what would happen if his testimony were to help Penny go free. Well, you're going to have an angry mob after you. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You should have thought about that. Do y'all know what his lie could actually do? And they better hope that the jury goes a different way and still and still finds Daniel Penny guilty. Because if Daniel Penny walks, they're gonna look back at this and that Eric Gonzalez person. Let's just put it this way: there won't be a corner held up anywhere that he could hide. It goes on to say, you're scared of people that are looking for a prosecution of my client, asked Penny's defense attorney, Stephen Razor. Yes, Gonzalez said. Razor said, you're afraid that if you testified in a way that's helpful to my client, you may suffer repercussions. And he said, affirmative. All these protests going on, I'm scared for myself. I'm scared for my family. You should have thought about that. Said Gonzalez, a father of two, underscoring how politically charged this farce of a criminal case is. Throughout his testimony, Gonzalez's face moved from deer in the headlights horror to the shame of being caught in deception, the kind of shame that sends a Catholic right to the confessional. But removing his words from the equation, the videos show that Gonzalez intervened fearlessly. Both he and Penny activated their instincts to protect New Yorkers from the Gotham City-like chaos and violence that plagued the underground at the time. Did y'all hear what they compared this to? They said the Gotham City-like chaos. Y'all made it seem like they opened up the doors to Arkham and just let people run wild and free. Like, listen to the verbiage that they're using here. They compared what happened with Jordan Neely to Gotham City-like chaos. And we got 202 people in here. Smash the like button. Now, one is facing almost 2 decades behind bars, and the other, it seems did everything he could to avoid being a helper again. The perverse and dangerous lesson: next time, don't get involved. Well, we already see what narrative they're trying to spin with this one. They're saying, well, if someone was doing something out of the ordinary, or what we perceive to be out of the ordinary, just let it happen. But what they don't see, to the flip side to that, is if, and this is something that KG said yesterday, and I'm gonna piggyback on what he said. If Daniel Penny gets off, that's going to open up a door for more Daniel Penny to Jordan Neely situations to happen. And see, the thing is, they don't see it that way, because here you have Daniel Penny, who used to be in the military. He's a white guy, and Jordan Neely was a bum who was black, and they felt like he just took out the garbage. But I said, y'all say this now, but let it happen to another person that looks like Daniel Penny, and say that the person who did it to him looked like Jordan Neely, then what you gonna say then? I'm telling you, the switch up is going to be real. Songwriter said Batman wasn't nothing but a vigilante. But see, here's the thing, songwriter. That's what they were calling Daniel Penny. If you look at the articles last year, that's what they kept calling him. They kept calling him a vigilante. So no wonder they mentioned Gotham at the end of this article, because that's what they're trying to peg Daniel Penny as he was the white knight or the dark knight in this instant, and came in and saved the poor downtrodden folk from the big bad black bum. Now let's see what these comments are talking about. Someone said New York City is a bottomless pit of wasted money on sham trials. If Penny is convicted, it is a complete waste of time. As soon as to be, President Trump should immediately set him free any way he can. Well, and that's the thing that you're going to notice about these comments, y'all. These people out here keep talking about, oh, if he gets convicted, then Trump needs to give him a pardon. News flash, you buffoons. Trump couldn't do anything if he tried, because this is not a federal case. This is a state case. So this has to be handled by the lawmakers of the state of New York. Trump can't do anything. And by the time Trump does get into office, this trial will be over. It's either going to go one of two ways. They're either going to find him not guilty and he goes home, or they're going to find him guilty and he's going to jail. And there will be nothing that Trump can do if he gets convicted. Someone else says, can we please end this charade of a case and let this man try to get his life back? We live in a city that prosecutes no crime, yet this is the one they obsess on. Someone else said, I sincerely pity both Penny and Gonzalez, good men trying to do the right thing and being condemned by a mob that hadn't had to face such an impossible situation. And we're supposed to feel bad? Because I don't. I would hope the court could be more fair than the mob. This article was correct. Anyone finding themselves in another such difficult situation is apt to find that nobody will come to their aid because good Samaritans can face mobs and prosecutions for doing the right thing. Someone says, those are some really angry looking people outside the courthouse with Justin for Jordan Neely signs. They just seem so clueless and misguided in thinking that the public at large has some responsibility to be threatened and victimized by dangerous people. And no doubt about it, Jordan Neely was a dangerous man. These are the comments, y'all. These are the comments. I feel like they're still upset because of what happened, the outcome with Derek Chauvin. They'll never let that one go. That's why whenever they do this, I'll be saying to myself, well, Ashley Babbitt got what she deserved because they still believe that she was a tourist. Let them tell it. Someone that said, while most men would pull out a cell phone today, this man took action to protect others. We need more men like him. Another one says, so when does this case get thrown out? Do we really need to wait for Trump to take office? Well, again, another person who doesn't know how this works because Trump can't do anything. It's not a federal case. Because remember, the same stuff they're saying about about Jordan Neely, they said the same thing about George Floyd. They said the same thing about Eric Garner. Anytime that they feel like a white person is protecting, quote unquote, the people from the big black boogeyman, the white person is automatically right. He just has to be the hero. They do it in the movies, they do it in television shows, and they do it in real life. What they say, art imitating life. There you go. After all, this is the article that said Gotham City like chaos, and they referred to Daniel Penny last year as a vigilante. What was Batman? A vigilante. Someone else says Daniel Penny is an American hero who stood up to evil and saved lives. A true Marine. Anybody could run their mouth about what could and should have happened, but you weren't there. Give Mr. Penny the keys to the city. Someone else said it's never the Republicans threatening to riot all over the country, so here now they're making it political. And please do not get started by bringing the one-time lunatic French who were led through the Capitol by armed police officers versus the summer of BLM riots, the crimes on university campus, etc., anytime things don't come out the way that they think it should. It says these citizens were trying to protect others from a mentally unstable person who should never or would be walking free, but for the soft on real violent crime prosecutors in NYC won't charge. And this man fears for his safety to tell the truth because the libs will threaten him and his family. Say it again, scared to tell the truth for fear of being threatened by the progressive branch of the Democrats, and they wonder why they lost the working poor, middle class, the Hispanic vote, the black vote, more than half of America's vote. So this person went on a whole political tirade about this case right here that was happening outside of an election season. But as I continue to go on and on, I don't have to keep reading it. Like every comment starts to sound the same, whether it's short or a longer narrative like the one that I just read to you. They all believe that Daniel Penny was in the right, that that Jordan Neely deserved to die. That's basically what they're saying. They don't say it, but that's what they're saying. But like I said, let Daniel Penny walk. This is going to open up the door for them to do it again. And when it happens to them, I'm going to see what narrative they try to come up with then. Because you already know they're going to try to say, oh, send that person to jail. No. Because remember, when it came to Jordan Neely, y'all said he was unstable and he deserved it, and that Daniel Penny did the right thing. So no, in that case, that person, if it ever comes to that, they did the right thing. And the other person, they were unstable. So I just want y'all to keep that in mind when this happens in the future to them. Because I'm telling you right now, one thing PC has in common, no matter what side of the political aisle they think they're on, they all think that they are above the fray. But I just dropped the link right there in the chat. If anybody would like to come up, feel free to do so. And shout out to the 251 people that we have here on this beautiful but rather cool Thursday afternoon. Dimpleface is so if an unstable Karen feeling the oh yeah. Yes. I just want y'all to keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind for the future because it's probably going to happen. Honestly, truthfully, it probably already has happened. Okay, we got our first couple of people. Wallow J, what's going on?
What's going on, Torian? What's going on? Che, you hear me pretty good?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. So this whole cat, like what he just did, is basically messed up. It only takes one person, one witness, to mess up the whole defense's like their whole defense case. Because what he just did is a trickle effect down on the case because he basically said, well, I really don't know what happened because he basically trying to save his ass because he kind of figures maybe if I save my ass, then I'm good because I don't know what's going to happen with this case because he probably see the writing on the wall. But no, like, I agree with what Kid said yesterday. They got to convict him because if they don't, then you don't you will unleash Pandora's box, and it's all hell's gonna be breaking loose in 2025 with people doing the same thing.
Exactly, and then everyone's going to think that they can go out and commit vigilante justice. This is no different than when it's a term that I'm thinking for citizens arrest. It's no different than that. Like, and we've seen how people who are citizens who are not cops try to restrain people. They be going so aggressive when they do it.
Yep. And then get their ass knocked out when they try and they get mad. I'm like, you're not a cop. Like, move out the way, let them do their job because a lot of times you don't know what people have on them. Like, that's why a lot of times when I used to work in retail, they used to be like, well, let the managers do it because if that person has a weapon of some sort, they could take you out. That's why they always say leave it to the professionals. I'm like, yeah, I ain't about to get involved in none of that, man, because I ain't about to lose my life over something petty. Nope, that just happened. That just happened 2 weeks ago in Wilmington with a worker at Walmart. The guy had just got out of prison like 3 months ago, and he killed someone. This is a PC man. This was a PC man that did this. So they got, like I just said earlier, they got to convict him, and then also that whole white and brown Asian, white and brown and yellow and brown on yellow and white. That coalition, they think they got 2025 is gonna show them different. And I'm gonna land my plane right there, Torian. B1.
B1. Shout out to Wallow J for coming up. Next we got Mr. Williams. What's going on? Mr. Williams, if you are there and you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Okay. Hello?
What's going on?
Okay. I don't know what happened. Yeah, first of all, I was trying to beat Wallow J, but I see that's impossible. I was on there typing away trying to get in there. But, yeah, things are... I'm going to say this when you was talking about the whole George Floyd and how they always view us as the big bad bully man and the white guy as a hero.
Yeah.
If Derek wasn't convicted, they wouldn't even be mentioning George Floyd no more, probably. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying he'll just be non-existent because, well, you know, they will more talk about Derek maybe as the hero, you know. And
many of them still see him as the hero. That's why they keep trying to find a way to quote unquote get him out. I said y'all are fighting an uphill battle that you can't win. Y'all are fighting an uphill battle with rock slides and mud slides and a whole avalanche, and y'all still trying to get up there. Y'all ain't even moved one pace. I'm like, just let it go. Just like with the whole Ashley Babbitt situation.
Oh God,
and
that's my nerves on that.
And that's why they say that when it came out that she was taken out by a cop, they said don't put his identity out there. And that's when I knew. I said, I bet you that person who did it was black. And sure enough, it was. And then that's what made them even more irate. They were already mad that happened to her, but they became even more aggressively mad when they found out it was a black man that did it. They still asking to this day, is this why isn't this man charged with murder? Like they're still asking that to this day.
Yeah, they hypocrites, and I think they mad because he looked like Martin King. So that's
he does, doesn't he? He does.
And King got revenge, I guess. But everything you see is on video. Whereas George Floyd, Ashley Babbitt, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're still arguing, saying something about what's his name, Ahmaud Arbery. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to say that he was guilty.
No, I didn't get a chance to talk about it because it was still it was in the mix of all the election stuff. But the McMichaels, both the son and the father, a couple weeks ago, and I think Lisa talked about it. They up there trying to get a whole new trial. I'm like, for what? Y'all were already found guilty of everything. What is the new trial going to do? Like, there's no new evidence there. They already went through everything. They cannot take the L, and it's a necessary L to take. And all three of them took it. That's very rare, by the way. And shout out to Ahmaud Arbery's mother because she fought tooth and nail to make sure they got the right conviction. And I think they were probably, I'm going to be honest, they were probably more scared of what the mother was probably going to pull out of her bag of tricks if they did not get convicted. Because that woman sounded like she was about to come with an army. But go ahead. Mr. Williams, I don't know if there's something going on with your audio, but I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
My StreamYard acting weird.
Yeah, that's I've been noticing that lately with some people StreamYard, like their audio issues kind of been messing up.
Yeah,
lately.
The mic will be on, but I'll press it to mute, but it'll come back on without me pressing it. Then it works.
Okay.
Weird. But no, I give respect to her and Tamir Rice's mom.
Yes.
Because I can't keep up with all cases. I just don't know what's going on. But the thing with Daniel Penny, and they said this, as a trained Marine, you should know better than to hold that long. I watch a lot of UFC, and a lot of top fighters can pass out in 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And like the ref has to be there right away. Then you got the doctors come in and start, make sure to get them going again. I mean, after, like you said, he held on for about at least 5 minutes. So after, and with Jordan Neely being dehydrated and hungry, and in fact, he was very small, it probably took very little time to get him to pass out.
Yeah.
So all the other time, he's just pretty much slowly dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that basically by the time Daniel Penny let him go, Jordan Neely had already been dead for a couple minutes. He was literally holding a dead body, a limp body in his arms for 5 minutes. So there you have it. Yeah, Mr. Williams, I think your audio went out again. I don't know what's going on.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
now.
I was going to get off. I don't know what's going on with this.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
All
right, appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Williams coming up. Next up, we got Mansa Musa. What's going on?
Hey, man, what's going on with you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, man. Hey. Yeah, shout out to Wallow J. Ain't nobody beating Wallow J unless he at work or something.
Right.
Yeah, at work or something. Shout out to Mr. Williams. I just decided to leave my mic on just in case, because if they having problems, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the live. Shout out to you. I heard you mention something about, you say Gotham level something. Gotham.
Yeah, they mentioned. They said that he was they were eliminating Gotham City like chaos, and I was like,
right,
what?
Right. Now when you mention that, I'm gonna throw this in here because I play video, so I'm gonna throw this at you. When you mentioned that there was Gotham City level chaos, I go to the game there's a video game called Batman Arkham Knight.
I'm familiar with that.
Right. So you're familiar with it. For the people that don't know, that's in here, that's in this live right now, it's a video game. It's in the third entry of the Batman series, where what happens is that the criminals take control of the city. The city is under straight control of the criminals now. There's no cops, there's no nothing. The city is just complete chaos. So if they saying it's Gotham City chaos, it must be Arkham Knight out here, if that's how they portray it.
And we know that ain't the case.
We know that ain't the case. And then I mentioned before in the chat, I was like, what about the one brother that was on the subway that used his knife in self-defense? They act like they didn't want to let him go.
Oh yeah, because that happened soon after, and they tried. And I remember they tried to spin that and try to say, why didn't they go after him? Like, why couldn't Daniel Penny get the self-defense? I said, because it wasn't self-defense what Daniel Penny did. What the black man did, it was self-defense for two people, himself and his girlfriend, because the person was trying to attack his girlfriend. Right. And he defended her, and he knifed him up. Now, of course, they had to arrest him because that was protocol, but they let him go with no charges because it was indeed self-defense. Anybody who saw what was going on there backed it up, and whatever camera was there picked it up.
Right. And that's the thing. Now, I forgot that his girl was with him, but yeah, that was like the main reason. I was like, okay, so if we going this route, you gotta understand that, like, the brother who had his knife to use in self-defense, you can't, like, it's uncanny. It can't even be measured. Like, you choked out a guy that wasn't really bothering nobody, and then come to find out that this guy lied. Because I think I seen your thumbnail before it was upcoming. I was like, oh damn, this dude lied. One of the dudes lied. I said, bro, I don't want to.
I did that strategically because and it worked too, because when I was looking at the comments, people were saying, oh, we knew he lied. I'm like, y'all have no idea who I'm talking about. Y'all just see he lied in the thumbnail, but y'all don't know who. Y'all probably think I'm talking about Daniel Penny. We know he lied, but y'all but y'all didn't pay attention to the guy in the other picture. And I was like, that's who I'm really talking about.
Was it the guy holding him down?
Yeah, the guy, Eric Gonzalez guy, like he lied and said that he was there earlier than what he was. He didn't get there until after Daniel Penny already had him in the chokehold on the floor, and he went in and held him down more. If you look at the video, you can clearly see him because he had a black cap on, and and a lot of people thought it was a black guy, but no, it turned out he just happens to be a heavily melanated Hispanic or Latino, whatever he classifies himself as, and he lied and he said that Jordan Neely had hit him or assaulted him or something like that, and that's what prompted Daniel Penny to put him in the chokehold. But no, Daniel Penny already had him in the chokehold by the time he got on the train. So he didn't even see the beginning of the altercation.
Right, he didn't see the initial whatever happened first. So he just jumped in and said, "Yeah, I mean, okay." So that made it even worse. And you know, just to say this before I get off here, I'm not putting any bad omens out, but I'm just like, dude, if you lied, bro, you're gonna have to have your head on the swivel.
And that's why that's why he's coming out now, because he's quote unquote scared. And I said, yeah, because you lied, and this could, like, you were lying to attempt, because let's say that actually did happen, like that lie actually went through. Daniel Penny could walk. That's why I'm glad that this came out, because that actually hurts the defense, which is Daniel Penny's team. Because wow, like, and it's still not going to do nothing for him, because you lied to try to get this man off knowing what he did. It actually looks bad. It actually looks as worse for you as it does for him.
Right. But it might not do nothing for Daniel Penny necessarily. Yeah. But it could do something to you. The fact that you lied, like, you can definitely get charged.
He should, because that's perjury. Like, but he tried to get up there and said that, you know, I have a family, I got 2 kids. Well, you should have thought about that before you got up there and lied the way that you did.
Listen, bro. All I'm gonna say is, nobody trying to hear nothing about that family, 2 kids. You took out somebody's child, or you aided in somebody's child being unalive. So. Say all that to say is, listen, man, you lying, you better be careful, because ain't nobody doing no citizens arrest out here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up off here, let you talk to some other folks. B1, holla at you.
B1. Shout out to Mansa Musa for coming up. Next up, we got Denzemus. What's going on?
What's up, my guy?
What's going on?
I'm good. I'm gonna say about this situation is, once again, there goes the minority coalition.
That's why I told people, don't be throwing me into no people of color or no minority mess, because as you can see, here's another example of it working against us.
Right. I just had funnily enough, I just had a conversation with one of my family members about how these groups, well, let me not even say that. All I'm gonna say is, these other groups, as a collective, we FBAs need to understand that they truly do, deep down, at the end of the day, they want to side with the PC. I was going to say suspected white supremacists, but they think that they're a part of that group, and it's okay if you have them. I'm a believer of I can be okay with certain people from different groups on an individualistic level, but as a
Mm-hmm.
collective, no. Because when it comes to situations like this, they always side with the suspected white supremacists. Every
Mm-hmm.
single time when it comes to coming against us, they always side with them. Um, I think I told you before that I live in New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna just say this. I'm about to go to New York later. This has been said many times. You will always see crazy people on the trains and stuff like that. So
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
trust and believe. I have family in New York, and I've ridden on the subway before. It's been years since I've done it. So I always tell people, the real Broadway show is on them subways. it's
yes,
not it's not down it's not in Manhattan. The real Broadway show performances are on those trains.
yes, yes, exactly. You will never have a dull moment on them nasty ass trains.
You
But
definitely want. I mean, you're gonna have singers, you're gonna have rappers, you're gonna have dancers. You might even see people doing acrobats. Like you're gonna see it all on the train, and sometimes right there on the platform.
yes, well, and then yeah, you will see it all. But to this man, I don't feel sorry for him.
I
This
don't.
man, yeah, this animal knew exactly what he was doing, and best believe, he probably doesn't really care that he killed the guy. I mean, not killed him. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. Assisted or whatever. He probably doesn't even care that the man died. He only cares because now everything is out and it's found out that he's full of crap. That's the only reason he cares. Like, I'm supposed to feel sorry because your family and stuff is gonna miss you potentially. Oh well, you should have stayed out of it. You should have stayed out of it and minded your own business, and none of this wouldn't have
And,
happened.
and like Anita said in the chat, she said Daniel unalived Jordan because he was annoyed with him yelling and wanted him to be quiet. She said my spidey senses. Well, to that, if
Lord,
someone is making like those kind of noises like that, or they're annoying you, you know what I do, because we have a subway line down here where I'm at.
you
Or
move
no,
to the next
call the metro,
train.
next car. You move to the get up when the train stops. You get up and you move to the next one over.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's it.
That's right.
And that's what I said last year when this happened. When this first happened, I said if he was annoying you, like like it's put out there, or it was too much noise, or it was something, just get
Mhm.
up and go to the next car, go to the next train. That's it.
Exactly. That shit happened to me last week. Some dude was on the train doing one of them pole dances and stuff, like uh, just dancing on a pole and stuff. I'm just like, all right, nigga, you doing too much. I'm going to the next train. It's
Hey, all right, wait. Are you referring to Coleman Cruz Hughes?
oh God, no. Is that? Oh hell no, no, bro. You no. If that nigga was on the train, I'm just catching the next train. They run like every 3 minutes. If he was on the same subway, fuck that. I'm getting on the next train. But um, the last thing I'm gonna say is this. Yeah, they another thing we need to real about another thing that we need to realize about these races from these other groups is they're always looking for an easy target. Okay,
Mhm.
that's another thing that we need to realize. He wouldn't have tried that unless he knew, like, you know, if he knew that he couldn't beat the guy, he would have definitely did what he had to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm twisting my words
And
up. I'm
yeah,
trying to be
and
quiet
also
and stuff.
too, and also too, when I was looking at the imagery of when Daniel Penny did what he did, it reminded me of the end of Do the Right Thing when Radio Raheem was getting choked out by the cop. That was
Mm,
like the first. That was one of the first things that popped in my head. And ironically, that movie took place in New York. It just didn't happen on a train.
right, right. Well, I'm gonna just say this before I go. I really hope to this. I really hope to that guy. I just want to ask him. I hope it was worth it. I really do. Next time, I really hope these people go to jail. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. Because one thing I know about PC is they have this. I'm pretty sure somebody else has probably said this before, but they really do have this little complex, this vigilante complex, and it's really gets on my damn nerves. It really does. But I'm gonna just say this to my fellow FBAs: just you have a right to defend yourself. Now I know the guy that died. Unfortunately, he was a little bit messed up, so he really couldn't defend himself like he could. But we gotta watch out for each other, because I know if it was another FBA on that train, this wouldn't have went down like that. But it is what it is, though. I don't want to keep on ranting because I'm getting real pissed off at this situation. Just the fact that this man lied like that, just ridiculous. But that's pretty much all I have to say. B1.
Before I bring the next person up, a shout out to Coach Donnie B for the $49.99. He says, "Thanks, brother, for all you do, B1. I appreciate you." All right, next we got up Jago the Rogue. What's going on?
What's going on, B1 fam?
B1.
I came across something last night on YouTube. It was a dude talking about the Book of Jubilees, and I was like, Jubilees? I was like, wait a minute, I remember that. I was trying to read that on my grandmama's big Bible. You know what I'm saying? The big Bible had everything in it. So I'm reading it. I'm listening to the dude, and he talking about how Esau, you know, the story about who was it, Jacob had got became the king, right? But he wasn't the king at first. Reuben was, but Reuben had broke a sacred law, and he lost his kingship, and Jacob got it. But Esau in the Jubilee is saying that Esau will be forever angry about that, and the children of Esau will also be fighting Jacob's people till like the end times. And it was just crazy. And I got to think about all the shit that's going on that been happening to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. I'm like, that make a whole lot of damn sense. You know, and it was also talking about the 13 months of a year and stuff, and how that's supposed to be going by the sun calendar instead of the moon calendar, that what is going on now, except for the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians have been keeping that since like forever. But it's supposed to be a divine, how did he say it? The sun calendar is supposed to be the theme for Hebrew holidays to fall on the exact same day every year, so it wouldn't be messed up, right? And it's just kind of crazy, man. But yeah, it's evil going on, because they also was talking about how Abraham, when he was on the Abraham he kept the sacred oath, but it wasn't written down yet. You see what I'm saying? But he kept it. And the others before him, they also knew about the laws, but it wasn't written down, but they kept it. But remember one time when Abraham was supposed to kill his son, but he didn't, and he had favor of God. And Jubilees is saying that the devil was also there too. But it doesn't say that in the other, man, it's just crazy, man. But it just proved to me further that these people changed the Bible. Like I always been saying, like 100 years missing out the Bible. It took them people 100 years to decipher our people language, and then they put their own twist and paganism on. Because Abraham also fought against paganism, like actually beat people up and burn stuff down because it was paganism. But that's all I just wanted to say, man. Just try to get everybody to try to check out the Jubilees and see what's really going on, because it's a reason why we left out.
Jago the Rogue, I think you're confusing the chat, because they're trying to see, was there a point to, or a correlation between what you said to the topic? Was there a correlation?
Yes, there is. these people are evil and they're going to be evil forever. They're not going to turn around. Because Jubilee said that Esau's children will rise up and wage war against the children of Israel forever. And that's like what's going on now. Daniel Penny, he did it too. All these crackers, man, it's always something annoying them, but instead of them moving around, they have to kill. I mean, dang, I did it. Dang, I did it. They have to unalive people. Dang, I did it too. I can't believe that. But yeah, that was just my point that Daniel Penny and these Al Cracker Tethers, they're just part of the problem. They're just part of the problem.
Okay.
But that's all. That's all. I was just that was my point though. Daniel Penny, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. All of them know what they're doing. All having the Armand Arbery, Breonna Taylor, having all our people, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
That's all I want to say. I think.
All right. Thanks for coming up. And to answer your question, Kwame, no, I am not. Next up, we got LB. What's going on?
What's up, Torian?
What's going on?
Hey, man. So I talked about this story last night when it first came out. And my question is, why hasn't he gotten prosecuted? Because whenever you lie to police, that's perjury.
Mm-hmm.
And if police put that on a written statement, that's perjury. And then when your lies lead to somebody getting murdered, he should have criminal charges on him too. So why isn't he being prosecuted? Because he's fearing for his life and all, ain't fearing for public scrutiny. The hell with that. A man is dead, no thanks in part to this man's lie. He lied to police to get out of man. I see that's the thing that gets on my nerve. What's up, Tori? What'd you say?
No, I said I agree.
So he goes, and then he had a role in the murder because he held the man's hand.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, by the time he got there, for all we know, Jordan was probably already dead.
Right.
He was probably already deceased.
And if you got that much issue with somebody in the subway, I'm pretty sure that's not the only car in the subway. Why don't you just get up and move somewhere else?
Exactly. That's what I was saying 2 callers ago. I said if there's an issue and you are annoyed by something, like maybe it's too much noise or something, you just get up and you go to the next car. That's why for me personally, whenever I do take the train, I'm usually riding in the very first car because that's the more quieter car. Now, once you get back to the middle to the back, that's when it gets noisy, especially during a certain time of the day. Like if it's like in the morning, it's not that bad because it's like people are going to work at that time. But like in the evening, that's when you're dealing with the mess. It's especially depending on what train line you're going on. Now, I know you're familiar with it, but that green line,
yeah,
yes, the green line is notorious for that.
Yeah, I remember riding the train out in DC. I had to go. I forgot where I had to go. I had to go into downtown, so I took the subway because I didn't feel like taking the car. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's some of the most craziest stuff on the subway. People out there singing, dancing, and then that was crazy. So I couldn't get out that one fast enough. And then there was another time when I was in New York. I went to a Yankees game with my homeboy, and this lady interrupts the whole subway talking about, I just want y'all to show y'all support for vegan. And I yell, what the hell is vegan? She comes. So that's when a random dude tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, they don't eat no kind of animals, no byproducts, no nothing. And I was like, oh, well, we eat animals down south. I had the whole subway laughing. and that ended up embarrassing her, man. But yeah, I mean, you've been on them New York trains, man. I mean, not only there's fights, but some of the biggest rats that be on those trains.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think everybody knows, even if they haven't been to New York before, knows that New York definitely has a sewer rat problem, and those are some big rats. I mean, them rats are huge. Like them things be the size of sumo wrestlers.
Hell yeah! I saw a rat drug a slice of pizza up the step.
And I can believe
no
it. I can
cap,
believe
bro.
it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, going back to this murder, man, I mean, look. And then the fact that this man got $1.5 million because people actually defended that nonsense or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's very profitable, as we can see over the years, even before what he did.
Right. So when I see all that going on, man, and anything less than the guilty verdict at this point is unacceptable. And then
I agree.
with the guilty verdict, you know, as we all know, we got to
You
wait
got to
for
see
the
what
sentencing.
sentencing. Yeah, exactly.
So, but that's all I got, Tori. Thanks for having me on, bro.
No problem. Thanks for coming up. Shout out to LB. And the last person we are bringing up is Hurricane Nisi. You know, I got to get you with that.
Good afternoon, Tori, and good afternoon, family in the chat. I'm not going to go over this case. The reason for what was the name of that show?
Cross.
Cross. Okay.
This is on Amazon.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check it out and see if I can pick out the person you think I remind you them.
When you
know
listen, when you see the person, because they're in the first episode. When you see the person,
okay,
you'll understand why I said it. I said when I looked at her and heard. Well, first I heard her speak because I didn't have my I wasn't in front of the screen at the time. I just heard it through my headphones, and I said. I was like, Miss Nisi? Literally, that's what I said. That's literally what I said, because I said it sounded just like you. And then when I looked at her, I said, wow. I said, y'all look like y'all could be related. Like when you see it, you'll understand what I mean.
Okay. Well, listen, you've been on this live long enough, so I'm gonna drop off. Be blessed as always, and you know I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Shout out to Miss Nisi for coming up. And that is going to conclude today's midday stream. Shout out again to to DSB and Key Prince for being continued members of the channel. Shout out to Tom Slick, J007, and Coach Donnie B for contributing to the super chat. I appreciate it as well. We will be back on here tomorrow with the 10 a.m. premiere video. And of course, we have the Friday stream that's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So be on the lookout for that. And also, if you are on Patreon, of course, you'll be getting the Friday video as well at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Hold on, y'all. Be safe and be one.